A message from Archangel Gabriel. I am Archangel Gabriel, a messenger of the divine, and I come to you today with a message of great importance. This is not a message to be taken lightly, for it is filled with both love and warning. You may have been going about your day without giving much thought to the fragile nature of the relationships in your life, but I tell you now that what is about to unfold requires your undivided attention. It is a sacred message, and it comes from a place of deep care. You must listen closely, for what I am about to say will impact you in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend. In the divine realms, there are moments when the truth must be spoken, to awaken you, to stir you from complacency, and to shake you into the realization that some things cannot be taken for granted. One of those things is the love and relationships you have with others. They are precious, fragile, and sacred. Time is fleeting. Time is fleeting, and you are being reminded today that relationships, whether they be familial, romantic, or friendships, require your constant care and attention. If they are neglected, they can slip away, sometimes without any warning. And so I come today with a grave but loving alert: someone very close to your heart is going to leave you forever this Friday. This may seem like an alarming statement, but I do not bring this message to cause fear. I bring it to you as a divine call to awaken and value the connections you have before they are taken from you, either by circumstance or through neglect. The angels have seen your life from the spiritual realm, and we know the relationships that you have held dear. It is in the nature of the human experience to become complacent or to take others for granted, thinking that people will always be there. But this is not always the case. The nature of human connection. There are moments when people come into our lives and we experience a bond that feels unbreakable. We believe that the love and connection we share will last forever. But in the hustle and bustle of life, we sometimes fail to nurture those relationships, not out of malice, but out of sheer neglect or distraction. We take for granted that the people in our lives will always be there, always available, always understanding, always waiting for us. But relationships are not guaranteed to last forever unless they are cared for. In your own life, dear soul, you may have someone who has stood by you for a long time, someone who has offered you their love, their support, and their care. They have been there through your darkest hours, and they have celebrated your brightest moments. They have shown you loyalty, and in return, they have asked for little more than your attention and love. Yet without realizing it, you may have allowed distance to grow between you. The love may still be there, but the daily acts of care and kindness may have faded. The moments of connection may have become fewer, and the words of affection may have become rare. A door closes this Friday. This Friday, as the angels have revealed, a door will close. Someone who has been a pivotal part of your life may choose to step away. The reasons may vary, but the essence of it will be the same. This person has felt the absence of your love, your time, and your care. They may have given all that they could, but without the reciprocation they needed, they may feel as if they have no choice but to move on. This is a harsh reality, but it is one that many of you face without realizing the severity of the consequences until it is too late. You see, the people in your life are not just there by chance. They are placed in your path for a purpose. Whether they have been with you for years or only for a short time, each person has been a part of your journey, contributing to your growth, your learning, and your experience. These people, dear soul, are gifts to you, gifts of love, support, and wisdom. Yet like all gifts, they require nurturing, care, and appreciation. When you fail to nurture those gifts, they begin to fade. When you neglect to show your love, to be present, and to give your attention, they may begin to wither, and ultimately, they may slip away. The warning signs. This is the harsh truth that many people face when they realize that they have taken someone for granted for too long. It's not about grand gestures or declarations, though they do matter at times. It's about the small, everyday moments of love, appreciation, and effort that create a foundation for lasting relationships. Your angels, including myself, are alerting you today because we see the pain that will come from this loss. We do not want you to experience this heartbreak without having had the chance to rectify it. We do not want you to regret the time that was lost, the words that were unspoken, and the love that was not shown. But we also know that we cannot force you to act. We can only guide you, warn you, and hope that you take heed. When a relationship begins to suffer, the signs are often subtle. You may notice that your communication with this person is less frequent, less meaningful, or more strained. Perhaps your conversations have become superficial, with no real depth or emotional connection. The laughter that once flowed freely may be replaced with silence or tension. These are the early signs that something is not right. The angels are always watching over you, guiding you through these moments, but you must be willing to listen to the signs and act accordingly. The need for intentionality. Relationships require constant effort and attention, but they also require something deeper, intentionality. When you value someone, you make time for them. When you love someone, you show them through your actions, not just your words. You create moments of connection that nourish the relationship, and you make space for each other's needs, hopes, and fears. When you fail to do this, the relationship begins to unravel. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens gradually, like the erosion of a cliffside, slowly but surely. The consequences of neglecting relationships can be severe, and they are not always immediately apparent. In your busy life, you may believe that there will always be time to make amends or reconnect. But time, dear soul, is a precious commodity. You may think that the person in your life will always wait for you, that they will always understand. But what happens when they begin to feel unseen, unheard, and unappreciated? What happens when they begin to realize that the love and care they have given you is not being returned in equal measure? An opportunity to act. This Friday, you are being given an opportunity to act before it is too late. The angels are sending this message as a divine warning. It is not meant to cause you fear or pain, but to awaken you to the reality of what is happening in your life. Someone close to you is feeling the absence of your attention, and they may be preparing to step away, either permanently or temporarily. This may be a relationship that you value deeply, and the thought of losing it is a source of great pain. Yet the truth is that this loss is not inevitable. You have the power to change the course of things. You have the power to restore the relationship by simply choosing to give it the care it needs. Now is the time to step forward and reclaim the relationships that matter most to you. It's time to show up with love, compassion, and commitment. It's time to have those difficult conversations, to apologize where you have faltered, and to make the effort to be present in ways that reflect your true feelings. It's time to put away distractions and make time for the people who matter most in your life. You do not have to wait until someone is on the verge of leaving before you make these changes. The time is now. Your relationship with the divine. Remember, your relationship with God is not merely a part of your life, it is the source of life itself. Everything else flows from this divine connection. Your love for God, your trust in His guidance, and your surrender to His will form the deepest, most unshakable foundation for every other relationship you have. This is the relationship that sustains you through trials, lifts you in moments of despair, and inspires you to act with love and compassion toward others. Without this relationship, your human connections can feel empty, fleeting, and fragile. With it, they can become transformative, full of purpose, and everlasting. God loves you unconditionally, and His presence in your life is constant, even when you may not always feel it. Your connection with Him is nurtured through prayer, through faith, through trust, and through seeking His guidance in all things. When you prioritize your relationship with God, everything else falls into place. Your heart becomes open to love, your mind is filled with peace, and your soul is at rest, knowing that you are never alone. but it is easy to become distracted. Life is filled with distractions: your work, your social obligations, your desires, your human connections. These things can sometimes overshadow the most important relationship in your life. But today, I urge you to remember that God must always come first. Without Him, you are like a tree without roots, susceptible to being uprooted by the storms of life. But with Him, you are firmly grounded, unshakable in your purpose, and unbreakable in your spirit. The sacred balance. Now, as we return to the theme of your earthly relationships, I want you to understand that these, too, are sacred. They are not to be neglected, but neither are they to take the place of God in your heart. The love you share with others should be an extension of the love you first received from God. The kindness, compassion, and patience you offer to those around you should flow from the grace that God bestows upon you. When you are grounded in God's love, you are better able to show up for others in a way that honors both them and the Creator. There is a balance that must be struck. Yes, your relationships with your family, your friends, your partners, and your community are vital. But they cannot and should not replace your connection with the divine. When you prioritize these human connections above all else, you risk neglecting the wellspring of love that is only found in your relationship with God. And when that happens, the relationships you treasure most may begin to unravel, for they are not sustained by your own strength, but by the strength you receive from God. Think of it like this: God is the source of all love. Without Him, the love you give and receive is like a flickering candle, vulnerable to being blown out. But when you allow God's love to fill you, your relationships become like a bright, steady flame that cannot be extinguished by life's trials. The power of divine love. There is nothing more powerful than the healing love of God. If you feel that a relationship in your life is on the verge of breaking, know this: God can heal it. If you feel that you have neglected someone you love and you fear that they may leave, know this: God can restore that connection. But restoration requires action. It requires you to show up with a heart full of humility, of love, and of repentance if needed. It requires you to act from a place of divine purpose, understanding that your love for others should reflect the love that God has for you. At the same time, remember that your relationship with God must always be prioritized. There will be moments when human relationships may disappoint or falter, but God will never leave you. His love is eternal, and it will never fail you. It is from this divine love that all other love flows, and when you cultivate your relationship with God, you become a vessel through which His love can pour out into your earthly relationships. Do not wait. Do not wait until it is too late. The person you love and cherish may be waiting for you to recognize their need for attention and affection. They may be waiting for you to make the first move, to acknowledge their worth, and to demonstrate that they are as important to you as you are to them. Time is fleeting, and the opportunity to heal what is broken is before you. This Friday marks a pivotal moment in your life, dear soul. It is a moment that will shape the course of your future. You are being called to act with love, to value the relationships that bring you joy, and to cherish those who have stood by your side. The angels are alerting you now so that you can avoid the pain of regret and loss. Take this message to heart and act with courage and compassion. Your angels are always with you, ready to guide you toward love, healing, and restoration. Listen to their whispers, and you will find the strength to restore what is precious. Remember, relationships are gifts that must be nurtured. Do not allow them to slip away unnoticed. Take this time to act, to show the love that is needed, and to reclaim what matters most. I am Archangel Gabriel, and I stand with you in this sacred moment, watching over your heart as you move toward healing and restoration. Go forth with love, and know that the angels will support you every step of the way. May you be blessed with the wisdom to act, the courage to love, and the peace that comes from nurturing the relationships that matter most.